Hi everyone and welcome to Tuesday Truth. My name is Laura and today we're going to talk about growing pains. Growth hurts. Now most of us have already gone through puberty and have experienced those growing pains that literally hurt. I remember when I was going through it all, everything hurt from my toe to my eyeball, my eyelashes, my pinky, my hair, my brain hurt. Now, I know I'm exaggerating, but hey, I remember thinking that everything inside me hurt. Everything inside of me hurt. And I was not the only one. My mom had 4 children, and all of us had different reactions to those growing pains. And that is the same thing that happens in our spiritual life. We are all God's children and we all go through our growing pains and we all react differently. Now, I have to say that I have to give, props to my mom, because she had to deal, like I said, with 4 different children, with four different attitudes and 4 different ways of reacting to things. So, God is the same way. Every single one of us reacts differently. And if you know me, you know that I'm a complainer. And I'm going to say it out there. I'm going to say it loud and clear because there's no point of me lying to you. After all, this is my Tuesday truth. I'm a complainer and I complain. And if I complain now, just imagine a few years ago when I was like more of a complainer and you're going to say, Laura, I don't believe you that there was a worse side of you, more complain. Yes, there was. And the one person who often would hear me and complain would be my oldest sister. Now, I love my oldest sister, and if you've heard me before say that my oldest sister for me is my moral compass. She is the one that sometimes has to keep me in track from falling off the wagon. And, she tells me things the way they are, and she doesn't bite her tongue, and she doesn't, beat about around the bush. She just tells me how it is. And even though sometimes I don't like her for what she's telling me, but I know it's true, and I know she's telling me because she loves me. So a few years ago, I was going through this season and how I was complaining. And so one day she got tired of me and she said, okay, I'm done listening to you. I am tired. I don't want to hear you talk anymore. I don't want to hear you complain anymore. You are done. And I'm like, but you're my sister. You're supposed to hear me complain. That's what sisters do. And she's like, yeah, but you've already overdone it. She's like, you've already overcomplained. You don't have a choice anymore. You got to stop. And so she said, I'm going to give you homework. And so I was like, okay, what? And she's like, you only have 5 minutes. 5 minutes just each day for you to complain, for you to just dwell in your misery and say whatever you need to say. You can complain about everything, but you only get 5 minutes. You can cry, you can scream, you can do whatever whatever your little heart desires, but you only get 5 minutes. After those 5 minutes are over, you're gonna go wash your face, you're gonna wipe away all the tears, and you're gonna thank the Lord. And I'm like, 5 minutes? 5 minutes is not enough. How do you expect me in 5 minutes to say everything that I have to say? Mind you, 5 minutes have been enough sometimes and sometimes not enough. But here's the thing. My sister knew that I need structure. I needed a structure in my life because if I didn't have structure, I was just going to keep dwelling in my own misery over and over again. And so over the years, I would tell her exactly how I felt. I would tell her, how I was feeling and how I was just doing, and I would complain to her. But then, she started saying, now give it to the Lord, give it to the Lord. And so instead of doing my 5 minutes with her, I started doing my 5 minutes with the Lord. In those 5 minutes, I would tell him exactly how I felt. And I would tell him that I was in pain, that I just did not understand why things were happening. And so in my 5 minutes, I get to cry, I get to tell him everything, but then I have to literally get up, wash my face, and thank the Lord. Now, you're gonna say, does it have to be a little thing? Yes. And here's why. Because when you do, she knew that I needed to do it, because then it was an act of getting it done and knowing that it was over. And so over the years, like I said, I started giving it to Jesus because he's the one who already knows how I feel. And he wants a relationship with me. And that relationship includes me telling him exactly how I feel, just like I did with my sister. Mind you, I still tell my sister how I feel. That hasn't changed. I tell her and my mom all the time, when we're talking, and we cry, we laugh, we do everything that we need to do, and then we get it over. And that is the thing. That's a relationship that we have established over the years. And it's the same thing with God. I have a relationship where I tell him everything. And like I said, sometimes the way I tell him things might not be your more orthodox way to do it, but hey, The Lord knows my heart, and He already knows who I am. He knows, exactly what I do and how I do it. And so a few days ago, I actually got a news that I was not expecting. And to be honest, at the beginning, I was pretty okay about it. I was actually proud of myself. I was like, yay, I'm not, overreacting like I tend to do. But as the hours passed by, I started feeling I just started feeling a bit overwhelmed and a bit stressed. And instead of going into my, usual freaking out moment, I actually, just went directly and did my 5 minutes. And I cried over and I told the Lord exactly how I was feeling. And I gave it all to Him. And it felt good because, I gave it all to Him. And yes, does it mean that I'm not feeling quite uncomfortable about it? No, I still feel it. I'm a human. I'm not a superhero, believe me. And I'm not perfect. And so I have my 5 minutes. I had my 5 minutes, and then I just went, washed my face, and just got over it and kept going with my day. That is exactly, how I managed through the day. And then at the end of the day, as I was going on my phone and I was going through, I came across Psalm 119, verse 49 and 50. And here's what the Lord said to me. Remember your promise to me. It is my only hope. Your promise revives me. It comforts me in all of my troubles. These two verses, just gave me that confidence that I needed at that moment. It reminded me that God's promises are my only hope and that He comforts me in my troubles. And so, after my 5 minutes were done, and after, having it all, giving it all to Him, rolling it over, this is what, rolling it over is all about, giving it all to Him. I was able to, to keep going. And then He gives me this verse where He tells me, I comfort you in all of your troubles. My promise is your only hope. And that is true because, He is our only hope. He is the only one that can help me. Yes, my sister might be able to comfort me from far away. But at the end of the day, the one person who can truly give me that peace that surpasses my understanding is Jesus. He's the only one that can truly help me. And so I love this song by Stephanie Gretzinger. It's called Confidence because it's just, it's our confidence should be in Jesus. I'm confident that He knows best. And this is what it is to roll it over to Jesus. I know a few weeks ago, and I think last week as well, I mentioned about rolling it over to Jesus, rolling our troubles to Jesus. And this is what it looks like for me. For me, it looks like giving my 5 minutes and telling Him exactly how I feel. You might have different ways to do it. And if you need to have your 5 minutes of misery, go for it. We all have our ways to talk to Jesus, and He knows our hearts. And if you need those 5 minutes, like I said, take them. And maybe I've been thinking that instead of calling it my 5 minutes of misery, maybe I should change the name. And if you have a different name, or if you have an idea to change the name from 5 minutes of mystery to something else, hey, I'm open. Leave your comment on the comment section, and we'll come up with a different name for my 5 minutes of mystery. But this is what I'm telling you. Whatever you might be going through, I know it's hard, and I know that sometimes you just need those minutes to say, oh, I hear His all. Here it is. I'm feeling like this. And if you need to cry, go for it. If you need to scream, go for it. If you just need to just rant, go for it. God is there. He's gonna listen to you. He already knows you. He knows what you're feeling. He knows your heart. He made you, and He wants you to talk to Him. That's what He wants. He wants a relationship with Him, with you. So, whatever you might be going through today, remember, He is your rock. It doesn't matter what everything around you might feel like sinking sand, but He is by your side. He is with you, and He can move every mountain. He can change everything. And yes, your growth hurts. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that the growth hurts, but He is a rock. He is a rock, and He is going to give you the strength that you need to get over and to keep going and to, just keep pressing through. He's gonna be there, and He wants to be there. Just talk to Him. Like I said, give it to Him. Give Him to Him. Give Him those, use your 5 minutes to talk to Him and tell Him. So, this is my Tuesday truth. I hope that it helps you in some way, and I hope that that it just brings you some type of peace, and that it's a tool that you might be able to use as well. And if you know somebody that needs it, pass this message over to that person as well. We all need it too. We all need a 5 minutes to dwell in our misery. Or maybe we should change the name for it. Like I said, leave your comment down in the comment section about what you think we should call this 5 minutes. So I hope you have a blessed Tuesday. Bye-bye.